Hey everybody, I'm Taryn Winnie, your Master of Ceremonies for tonight, and thank you for joining us on Variant Roles for Juneau Darkness Beckons, an adventure into the Urban Shadows system by Magpie Games. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm going to go ahead and let my players introduce themselves, and we're going to do things a little different tonight. We're not going to be doing rumors and stuff, because we have a couple new PCs joining us, so just go ahead and who you are, where we can find you, and who you're playing. So, Maria.
Hello. I'm Maria. You can find me at Happy Capster on Twitter. And tonight I will be playing our resident tainted Kay Belton, who's doing great. It's great.
Max.
Hi, I'm Max, LMXD20. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Red Abernathy, the private investigator who uses the Aware playbook, who has recently discovered he made a pact with a demon, but doesn't remember. And he's not doing great.
Everything's fine. Everything's going fine. Matthew.
Hey, that's me. Hi, folks. I am Matthew Foreman. I am at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I see him pronouns, and I'm playing Gallant, the mortal wizard, who uses he, him pronouns.
And Ty.
I'm Ty. You can find me at Ballroom Brawler on Twitter. I am playing Dimitri, the human hunter, for the first time.
Awesome. Can't wait to crack open those eggshells. But first off, Max, would you like to give us a recap from last week?
Oh, yeah, and it's a doozy. So, on last week's harrowing episode of Urban Shadows, Juneau Darkness Beckons, Kay paid an unexpected visit to Peter, who was in the midst of possessing his husband Daryl. Peter and Kay discussed the future of Juneau, and Kay made their thoughts on Peter running the city very clear before leaving. Red, not feeling comfortable living in a bar after learning about his demonic pact, was given the address of an individual named Leroy, who Stephen warned may be hard to handle. Meanwhile, Brody sets to work in his new sanctum under the Fey Tea Shop to search for a way to destroy specters. At the absolute worst time, Peter chose this moment to confront Brody about his role at the cabin. And as Peter brutally murdered Brody, the Oracle used the last of his power to curse Peter and go down in a blaze. Kay discovered Brody's charred corpse among the ashes of the still-burning building. And that's where we begin this episode of Juneau Darkness Beckons, as two new individuals join Stephen's hunter group.
All right, y'all. So that perfectly encapsulated what a doozy of session we had last week. So the first thing that we're going to do is we have two new characters, which means we have two new playbooks to introduce ourselves to and sort of get acquainted with. Does either of you want to go first as we walk through the stuff?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's start with Dimitri because I have the Hunter playbook open currently. So.
I'm also ready. I can go.
I'm just kidding. That was a bad move.
That's all right. Go ahead.
All right, so just walk us through. I mean, we've got the character creation stuff, so
Sure. I made up name, look, and demeanor. Character stats. I chose to add 1 to blood, so he has 2 blood, 0 heart, 1 mind, -1 spirit. I added 1 to wild, so his factions are mortality 1, night 1, power and wild both 0. Intro questions: who are you? Dmitry Chopenko. How long have you been in the city? 1 month. Got here pretty recent. Well, yeah, 1 month. Got here pretty recently. How did you become a hunter? He has been trained for a long time in his home country.
So, what brought you to Juneau? You haven't been here very long. What drew you in?
I think he's only been in America, I think, for a couple years. I think once the call went out for a hunter group, like 4 hunters in Juneau, I think that's what brought him to Juneau, was this call.
So he might even
shorter, yeah.
have connections to Steve and this organization somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. And training in your home country. Give us a quick glimpse what that looked like.
I think there was a small group of people, kind of a not, kind of not super well known, but there was a small like handful of people that were trained as hunters, and they trained the next generation that were picked either like by family or by athletic skill set, or if if they had any encounters with the supernatural. And I think Dimitri was picked for his physical ability as from a young age.
Okay. Good to know. So, your prey.
What do I hunt primarily? Back home, he hunted Kikimora, which is a Slavic creature.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Kikimora is a kind of the legend is that they appear and they're kind of bound to houses. They're in kind of a spirit in the shape of a woman who haunts a house or a place and sits on the victim's chest as they sleep, and can give nightmares, can drive people to suicide, also kidnaps children. Yeah.
Okay. What drove Dimitri to hunt them?
I think it was the most prevalent. That was like the most prevalent in his kind of area of Ukraine, and that's what kind of he grew. Like that was kind of the regional most prevalent thing to hunt, and that's why he
Gotcha.
started.
So, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
What are their strengths and weaknesses?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
yours. Is that what it says?
No, it's theirs.
No, theirs. Yep.
Their strengths are they're like ethereal, they're very deadly, and they're very quiet. Their weakness is that they are bound to a specific place. So it's not like you have to go run around trying to find them. They are kind of in a house or a building, and it's easy to know where they're at.
What's this next question? I need to zoom in.
I have it.
Because apparently my eyes. Yeah.
I have a book open too.
Okay.
What terrible thing have you done to yourself to help even the playing field? He has dabbled with augmenting himself with magics, going to different people, some of the darker arts to help himself in the hunts.
Do you want to give an example, or would you like to reveal those in play?
I'll reveal those in play.
I thought so. And how are you like them?
I am like them that he's learned that sometimes it is best to strike at your prey when they are at their weakest and most vulnerable.
That's something else. So, alrighty. Yeah, your gear. Imagine this is pretty fitting because you just showed up.
Yeah, shitty apartment, a pickup truck, and a cell phone.
And then some weapons, but we'll get into those again.
Okay.
In play, I think. I think those are more fun to reveal as necessity arises. Now, our favorite thing about the Urban Shadow system, debts. Someone has enlisted you to protect them from something very dangerous. They owe you a debt.
Protect them from something dangerous. My thoughts on that for NPCs would be either I was thinking either Lauren or Officer Emma's wife, who I don't know if we ever named. Those are my two thoughts.
Yeah, I don't remember. Let me check. I don't think so. I'm going to say we did not name, so if there's anything you want to if you want to name that person, or if Lauren is your option.
I think Lauren.
Okay.
Would be interesting.
Okay. Sounds good. So Lauren owes you a debt. I do not have a pen. Wait, maybe I do. Haha. It was in my dice tray. Not that I need dice, but so throw Lauren on here. 1, debt 2. I almost wrote Brody.
Nope.
It's not the case.
Not so much.
Dimitri. Just gonna write Dim. So, all right. Second debt question. Someone keeps you equipped and supplied. You owe them 2 debts.
Yes, that is Gallant.
Okay. Why don't we explore that just a little bit? What does he supply you with?
Gallant has supplied me with in the past enchanting some of my weapons and using some of his magics to augment my body at times to help in hunts.
Alrighty. And then last question. You consider someone a friend even though that friendship keeps bringing you trouble. They owe you a debt.
I think Steve would make sense
Okay.
and help get me here too.
Sounds good. Steve. So Steve gets you in trouble sometimes, probably from some maybe not bad information, but outdated perchance.
Okay.
1, 2, Dimitri. All right. Is there anything else we should know? Maybe some moves that you picked?
Sure.
Anything cool that you want to like highlight about Dimitri?
Moves. Dimitri, one of them we'll cover when we talk about weapons, but he is prepared for anything, which kind of added to his weapons that he has, made them more potent. I got a little tag on one more tag on each one of them. Dimitri is deadly, which means he inflicts 1 more harm every time he inflicts harm. And the last one will come out and play, but he is a little bit smarter sometimes than he lets on.
I like it. Alrighty. So, if that is wrapped up with Dimitri, we can head on over to Gallant. Matthew, would you like to introduce us?
Yeah. I customized my look, but needless
You
to
are definitely muted if you are trying to talk.
Oh, I'm muted in Zoom. I was muted in Zoom. Fuck me. All right. So I customized my look, but needless to say, I am disheveled and broken. Kind of a wily look to me. I have -1 blood, 1 heart, 1 mind, and 2. Wait, nope, wrong stat line. There we go. -1 blood, 0 heart, 1 mind, 2 spirit. And I added 1 to my mortality faction, since I am a mortal wizard. Who are you? Name's Gallant. How long have you been in this city? That's the funny thing. I'm from here. I used to live here, but a good while ago, in my younger years, I got into some trouble. I kind of got framed, and I was put in prison. But I'm out of prison now. Not really sure why. So I've been back in town for just a couple months. Oh man, what have you sacrificed for your power? I've sacrificed my body and others.
All right. What keeps you up at night, Gallant?
What keeps me up at night? I would say... What keeps me up at night is why I'm back. Both how did I get out of prison? Because I was just let out, I think. And the people whose lives are in danger in this town.
Okay. What do you desperately need?
To set things right and clear my name.
Alrighty. What are you clearing your name from? Were you wrongfully wrongfully imprisoned?
I was. I did not. I did the time. Well, half of it, but I did not do the crime.
What were you imprisoned for?
Murder.
Whose?
That's the thing. You see, a couple years back, not quite sure when, there was another kerfuffle, kind of dispute around this town between the various powers. I just kind of got swept up into it. Some people died. But the few mortal one of the mortal innocents that did die was not actually my fault, but I got pegged for it.
So were there some that were your fault?
They weren't innocent.
Good to know. Good to know, Gallant. Your gear. Want to walk us through?
Oh, God. It says, a nice apartment or a simple house. I feel like a simple house is his style.
Okay.
A crappy car, a decent cell phone? Okay, sure, whatever.
Where is your house, Gallant?
I don't know. It's in Juneau.
Fair enough. We'll establish more later. Your mystical focus and sanctum.
Yeah, my mystical focus is like a walking stick. It's kind of a staff, but I use it to walk because I'm pretty busted up. And then I think my sanctum is an old bomb shelter in a unincorporated, kind of unclaimed woodland area in my backyard. So like you kind of go travel back there past my property line, and it's some kind of overgrown kind of shelter, bomb shelter kind of thing.
All right. That is pretty great. How old is Gallant, by the way?
I feel like he's, let's see, he's probably mid-50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then a practical weapon.
A sword.
That's not practical. I don't know why that's in the list, but okay, I appreciate it.
Listen, Kay
I know
thinks it's
Kay
practical. Kay has a sword.
I know they do.
Yeah.
All right. And now again, our favorite part. That's someone is helping you keep your demons at bay.
I think it's Steve. He's the bar owner, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that means you owe him one debt, right?
I do.
From Gallant. Someone is your go-to when you get into trouble.
That is Dimitri.
Okay, I don't need to worry about documenting that. And you are helping someone keep a dangerous secret.
I don't know.
Is anybody in the party interested in having a dangerous secret kept by Gallant? Maybe one of our more established character friends?
I would say yes, but I can't think of any right now. Unless
Can't think of any secrets you're harboring?
unless
none.
Unless Gallant somehow witnessed the outburst at Kay's residence.
I'll suggest this. Let's see if it bites. If you are, you could have turned to Gallant for some advice on your condition.
If we say that I know you through Brian Crawford, who was also a wizard, that would be the only other wizard I know in town.
Or Steve. Steve is a very good friend of yours.
Steve, okay. Yeah, we can establish that one a bit later.
Okay.
Okay, you owe me a debt, Red.
All right. Just erase Peter from my character sheet.
He's not gone. Those
I
debts
know,
still
I-
exist.
Damn.
Oh God!
Brian knows.
Can you take Peter out of my control on Roll20 so I quit clicking on him?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
Peter Poindexter, not Matthew. Let's see.
I owe so many debts.
Those won't come into play at all.
They haven't yet. Just building.
There we are. Just take him under my wing.
It's super not great.
It's fine. It is, in fact, totally fine. So we had just Ty. Do you have something?
Yes, I do have one more important thing. Dimitri has not encountered a lot of the traditional supernatural creatures.
Okay.
Just kind of a couple of very specific ones where he's from.
Good to know. Is there anything of note from his time in the U.S. so far, or at least North America?
Not really. I think the first real supernatural, quote unquote, being he's come into contact with is Galant.
Okay. Good to know. All right. So last week we kind of had left off with you guys making your entrance into the Hunters Club. I think we might as well just start there and kind of open up with that scene of you guys at this quote unquote meeting.
Okay.
If you are all right with that, give us a chance to get to know Dimitri and Galant a little bit.
That's fine.
So, well, welcome. How familiar are you guys with Juneau?
It's changed a bit since my day.
Not remotely.
Not sure if that translated like you wanted it to, Dimitri, but gotcha. I think I know what you meant. So, any questions?
What are we killing here?
Right now it's kind of a little too unclear to be exactly certain. We've had some issues with, let's see, the Vamps and Wolves are pretty potent right now. Not really sure which one's gonna win out. Might be better to let them fight a little bit, but yeah, there's some few otherworldlies that we tend to ignore to keep the peace, but we're just kind of keeping watch at the moment.
Dimitri's taking out a small notebook and starts writing furiously as Steve relays this information.
So do y'all have any experience with anything in particular? Any expertise?
Yeah, I've been around the block a time or two. I came here because it was my understanding you needed a little bit of mystical muscle.
No, yeah, it'd be. I mean, it's great having a little bit of power on our side for once. We've had a couple of feds poking their nose in, and not normal feds. So we've got a. Have you heard, Gallant?
I don't know much. I just rolled back on into town not long ago, but as I understand it, one Brian Crawford of the agency is flipped, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a wild card again. Still, not cardigan, card again. Yeah, it's still unsure what direction that's heading, but
So who's in control these days, then, of this town?
it's well, if we're gonna put it succinctly, there's Conrad's faction and all of his connections.
Vampire?
nasty one too, and not something you go straight at.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Don't say I didn't warn you. And then yeah, there's another vamp, Daphne, but she's been real quiet as of late. So
That's either very good or very bad.
yep, that's kind of how I feel. And then yeah, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, the Fae have been pretty quiet too. But those two seem to be working some angles. There's some shit kickers. We've got this got a couple of tainted families in town. Well, we got the remnants to one at least.
Which one would that be, and what happened to him?
Well, the current kerfuffle, as you would say, Gallant, has been potent.
All right. One of the families that deals in bargains made a sour deal and got decimated, but there's still one around.
They're potentially a friend you could make too. That might be someone you want to get in touch with.
The one that got decimated, or the one that's still in power?
The one that got decimated.
Well, what's left to work with?
Well, there's Kay. I'd give them a few days.
Coming off hot.
Then, yeah, and then we got actually the younger sibling. She's itching to join the hunt, so. Dimitri, I was wondering if you, I've got another fella helping her out in the morning, but, you want to ride along? Red's good in a pinch, but probably better to have somebody with a little bit more, expertise or experience.
Yes,
Right
that was a lot of information. I have. There is a man named Comrade who is vampire, tainted shit kickers, and something about a potent kerfuffle.
You know what, Dimitri? That is very succinct and well put. So.
All right. Yes, I will go in the morning.
Yeah. And he writes down an address on a piece of paper and like slides it across to you.
Thank you.
There. Keep an eye on Red as much as you keep an eye on Kay, will you? Red's been tied up in this whole, well, clusterfuck.
Is he dangerous or?
He's unlucky, which is pretty much about the same thing.
We'll keep one eye on him.
But
This one.
he's tough.
Not familiar, but
He's new in town. He came in on some errand and got caught up.
a lot of that going around these days.
Tell me about it. Supposed to retire years ago after that last incident.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Am I missing anybody?
So where would I find Kay?
Again, I will not stress this enough. I would come with them very lightly and with open palms. But
Doesn't sound like my type. My approach.
I know that's why I am trying to warn you. Maybe I set up a meeting. How about that?
Steve, I don't need you mother me here.
It's kind of whatever. He kind of just like sets the glass down pretty hard. Either of you need anything to drink, or we're just gonna sit here and yap all night.
I always need a drink.
Absolutely, vodka.
Vodka, gallant,
Vodka sounds fine.
neat.
Yeah.
Okay. Just pours 3 glasses and raises it up to keeping Juneau safe. All right. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and close that scene there. Red, you're heading over to your new safe house. Your new safe house.
And the whole time I'm driving, I'm just thinking, oh, please don't be there. Please don't be there. Please don't be there.
You arrive to a dark and not exactly run down, but shabby looking, what can only be described as a tiny home.
Any other cars parked around it?
Not that you can see.
Right. So remembering key under the mat from the phone call. Gonna park, leave my stuff in the car, get out and go make sure that the key is where it's supposed to be.
Yep, it is right there. You've got the right address. So
Right. Is the door locked or?
I mean, yeah, it is locked, so you're gonna
It
need
is,
the
okay.
key, but
Okay.
it's easy enough fix.
I'm gonna knock first.
Okay. There's no response.
Okay, so I'll listen. I'll take the key and I'll enter. And upon entering, I'm going to use my one useful skill. I'm going to snoop.
All right, so that is a roll scenario.
Yep. Darn it. So I only get 1 with a roll of 6.
Okay. Does anything happen on a miss, basically?
On a miss, you find yourself in over your head.
All right. So
Rolled a 6, but it was with mind, and my mind is +1, so
so
it
it's
comes
a
to a total of
7.
7. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that
So
that changes things. So
I can hold 1. And the thing I'd like to ask, specifically looking for any kind of hidden surveillance equipment.
okay.
Who or what here is not what they seem, is the question.
Who or what is not what they seem?
Any
I'm gonna
nanny
say
cams or
no strangers. That was just for Maria. Yeah. So let's say you snoop around just a little bit, and after like a couple of minutes of kind of searching around, you find under one of the seats what seems to be a, like, it's kind of like this like built into the wall sofa that's kind of wood on the bottom, and like if you lift it up, there's like storage area, but then you kind of out of your corner eye catch that there's another ring sort of below that, and you pull that up and it's a false bottom, and there seems to be like old VHSs, tons of old newspapers, a couple of guns. Like there are photographs of very like real looking supernatural creatures, that sort of thing. Just like you seem to have found his stash, quote unquote.
okay. Any written notebooks in here?
Um,
Hunter's journals kind of thing?
Nothing like that. Just like old newspaper clippings, photographs, a couple of like old videos. This doesn't look like super current storage, but it's definitely a storage.
Yeah. So I'll bring in my stuff and start getting settled down for the night. I'll fire off a message back to Steven saying made it safe, no Leroy yet. And just ask what time to meet up tomorrow for Lauren.
Yeah, he'll shoot you an early text and a location. It doesn't seem to be the bar, but
All right. If nothing else happens, he's just gonna try and catch some shut eye.
okay. About 2 a.m. In barreling comes a figure. What do you do?
Oh God. I would have been sleeping with the shotgun. I'm just gonna aim it and go. I sure hope you're a Leroy.
And I sure as hell hope you're red.
Well, that's good enough introduction. Yeah. Am I sleeping in your bed or something?
No. Yeah, this is a little awkward, but no, I was just coming to check in, make sure all right. Kind of thought you were a little bit more of a night owl than this, but
It's
got
been
kinda
a
my
long
wires
24
crossed.
hours.
Seems like it. Yeah. Well, he kind of looks at you for a second and then pulls out a pack of cigarettes and taps it open, pops one and starts lighting it. It's a very small place. There's not a lot of room for the smoke to go. And he kind of just like takes a couple puffs and he's like, well, see, what you seen?
Look, hey, if you've been in Juneau longer than 3 weeks, you've been here longer than I've been here. So what have I seen? What have I seen? I was warned I'd have to do this.
Oh, sorry, where are my manners? And he like holds out the cigarette box to you.
Now, I quit years ago.
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry. He kind of like cracks open a window.
What do I know? So, pay my rent with some information, I'm assuming. Let's see. Well, you know a werewolf by the name of, I believe it's Lawrence?
Um,
There's a pack of wolves, I guess some muscle, work for a vampire named Conrad, but they ain't too happy about it for their current working arrangement. So,
well, yeah, a little familiar. And he kind of like turns a little bit, and there is like a gash open on his shoulder.
you gonna start getting hairy on me on a full moon?
No. I played it safe, but well, sometimes you just got to get the shot. And he pulls his like rucksack around that you kind of notice, and he like steps into the moonlight that's coming through the window right now, opens it up, and there's 4 cameras in here. There's just like lighting equipment. It is just there's sketch pads and like a small notepad sort of like sticking out of his like shirt pocket next to the cigarette pad. Because I got some great shots, and he like starts flipping through this camera reel with you.
Did they follow you down here?
No, nobody follows Leroy.
Well, get in here, lock the door, double lock it. See, you got 3 or 4 padlocks there, and yeah, show me what you got.
Well, this is gonna be an awkward ask. Can you sew me up?
Yeah, you got a first aid kit around here. I'm assuming I would have found that during my snooping.
Yeah, you found it. It's in the kitchen. But he kind of like just like tosses his rucksack onto the bench and wanders and finds the. He like starts like throwing open the kitchen cabinets, grabs it and walks back and hands it to you, and starts like pulling his like shirt up over. He's got a wife beater on underneath.
Is this going to be a roll, or is it just going to be assumed
You're
that
just
I know
gonna,
how to?
yeah. There's nothing really here that needs to be sort of, mixed success sort of thing or on a miss. You kill Leroy, like who would want that? So
Well, it ain't going to be pretty, I tell you.
Matthew wants that, apparently. That's what he's about to type. No. But yeah, so yeah, as you're kind of as you're sort of sewing him up, he kind of like he's got the camera now again and turns and shows it to you. Yeah, well, you've run in with him too, huh?
Yeah, sad to say I owe him for a little assistance.
Oh, uh, didn't sound great, but could make a good story.
You hear about the cabin incident?
Did I? And he kind of like he like goes in and grabs another camera that's got like a long lens on it, and he like pulls it out and he just starts like flipping through shot for shot everything that happened out there.
Any close-ups of Red having a leg bleeding out and blown off?
You know what? You can ask him, or you can try and snoop. There's feels like there's a role here to find this information.
Yeah.
Let's
see.
do. There's mislead, distract, or trick. Persuade an NPC.
I got heart. Which one will work best with heart? I think there's
Persuade. You could try and persuade him to tell you if he's got any like information.
How about you talk while I look through some of these? Tell me what's going on with you and the wolves.
Damn it, Matthew. Sorry, Red. I just mechanics and my D&D and my tabletop RPGs. So you are going to have to. So the mechanic of persuade an NPC is through seduction, promises, or threats. So you need to like give him something to get something, and then you will roll. Just kind of like, well, what's it worth to you?
Oh wow. Trying to think I get anything to offer and information wise. All I got's warnings on who to stay away from, but hoping you already know that if you're gonna stay alive out here.
I'm looking for something a little bit more concrete.
Yeah.
And he's like done with his cigarette, tosses like flicks it out the window, and like is already pulling out another one and lighting it.
I could tell him about the meeting that went down between Daphne and Mildred.
Sorry,
But I dangled that little thread there.
Okay, I think we're talking. Go ahead and roll.
And that's going to be with heart +2. It's going to be 9.
Okay, so you kind of we'll do a little bit of a swap and spit here, and kind of see where things go, and maybe you can owe me later too.
You let me look through the camera. You tell me some stuff about what's going on with the werewolves, and yeah, I'll owe you one for down the road.
Sounds good to me. And you owe Leroy a debt now.
I'm good at that. So, for my question, do I find
Yeah,
very obvious photo? Okay.
There is. It's not exactly obvious, but you can tell it's you, and if people knew you, they could tell it's you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would like to, you could delete it.
Yeah. So I'll make it under the. I'm going to be looking away from him, looking through it, so I don't want him seeing it. I'm just going to casually hit the delete button under the pretense of trying to zoom in or something.
Kind of just is smoking. It's like, well, so this is interesting. So tell me more about this Vamp and Fae meeting.
Well, I guess some drug dealers. They got the Fae running some drugs, heroin, that sort of opiums. Got a vampire Daphne who's got this. I don't know what you call it. Just a fancy house up in the hills. And I think there's a bit of a turf war going on between the two of them.
Any particular spots this is going down?
I haven't seen Daphne around in a while, and Faye had gone quiet ever since, so worried there might be something going on there because Mildred seemed worried.
Good to know. Good to know. You finished up back there, or you just figuring my new hole?
One with birds. I'm making a minute, and I'm looking to see. I'm just trying to make sure I'm anything that shows me with a big pool of blood around my leg that might give some suspicion that my leg might be an issue.
Are you talking about on the photograph or
On the photograph, on the fake pictures? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any issue there. You can handle yourself pretty well at that moment.
All right. Well, I'll tell you. You got photos of what went down, but what Lawrence and his pack did was made sure that there was a powerful wizard on the sides of this whole solstice thing there, and he was in there when the cabin blew up.
That's good to know. Kind of takes another puff, and he tries to lean back and look at the near someone. He's like, "Nah, good enough." Lights it, pulls his shirt back on, grabs his rucksack, grabs the camera out of your hands, like, "See you later," and throws it out the window again and bucks it out the door.
Way with words. Gonna pull out a Arius or a Benadryl or something. Take that and try and get some sleep. He's gonna triple padlock the door.
Sounds good. Sorry, I have to break the scene there for a second because y'all in chat and just Leroy in general as an NPC was awful, but
the worst.
Oh, sorry, I just couldn't deal with all of the excuse, sirs. All right, Kay, is there anything else you're getting up to tonight?
Kay is going to find a lot of alcohol somewhere and is going to drink heavily whilst trying to track down Felix to do something to get their mind off of everything that has just happened. You're muted.
So, you know what this is?
Is it hitting the streets?
It is. It's a faction move.
Hey, y'all, we're playing some Urban Shadows.
Yes,
I have dice. We can
Isn't
roll
Peter
them.
supposed to help them with tracking Felix down?
That is true. But Peter has some own issues to deal with tonight, so. Yes, you do mark the faction. Did I ever say what Felix was or any indication?
Well, okay, you mentioned when my patron described them that they were a husk, so I assumed that meant that they were a whatever they're called,
like a ghoul.
Yeah,
but for infernals.
Oh, yes, I do remember what he was now. I remember this playbook now. Aha.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me.
You just let me know what faction it is.
I will need to look. Dark Streets playbook.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, wild actually.
Oh, hell yeah. Sweet.
That makes sense. That makes mechanical sense. I'm a genius.
Look at those mechanics. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's good. I'm glad I have 3 in wild.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm glad I have 3 in wild. Okay. It brings it to a 9.
Okay. So it would have been a miss.
It would have been bad.
Yeah. All right. So on a 7 to 9, so when you're hitting the streets, name who you are going to enroll with their faction. So you are going to Felix?
Yes. Felix or
Because you're going to someone to get the information
I'm
about
gonna
Felix.
go to Ashley Dumas, who
Okay.
I also have some
We
decks
do.
on.
Yes, that is a current character that we have not found a voice for yet. So this will be
Nope.
fun. 2 new NPCs in one night. Totally prepared for this.
This is fine.
It's still wild, still the same
we give
thing.
you a whole season with like 4 NPCs. We're gonna give you 4 NPCs in one episode now.
On a hit, they're available and have the stuff. On a 7 to 9, which is choose one. Whoever you go to is juggling their own problems, or whatever you need is more costly than anticipated. So you do find Ashley.
Okay. That second one intrigues me.
I like that as well. I was kind of hoping you would lean that direction. Yeah. So you get a hold of Ashley. Let's say your families are well known, even if the Belmonts are not as prominent as they were a couple of weeks ago or alive.
It's Belton.
That's what I meant. Why did I say Trevor
I
Belmont?
I am not Simon or Trevor Belmont. As much as that is flattery.
Yep, that is definitely what Melton. But yeah, there is a swanky nightclub.
Oh, hell yes. Okay.
That you are fairly certain that you're going to find Ashley in. What is this nightclub named?
A nightclub in Juneau, Alaska. It's named the Northern Lights.
Oh gosh.
Yep, it's everything is neon. There's black lights everywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I love that you guys are already planning your new characters. You just introduced characters this session.
Just got
Calm
here.
it down. Anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump into that. Is Kay getting drunk there, or are they drunk when they arrive?
I think they're well on their way when they get there. And I think this place is going to help with that.
Okay.
A bit more.
Is Kay usually wearing their usual getup?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Which in this particular scene blends in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, blends in.
Okay. So you find your way first to the bar, perchance. Does that sound accurate for them?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
What do you order? And is there a special drink that gets you into the back room?
Yes. And I would like to get that one.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. You asked the wrong person to pick drinks because I don't know any of them.
Anybody else want to have suggestions? Sue?
Anybody else want to suggest something that has either whiskey or bourbon in it?
What?
How about a Viking longship? You ever had one of those?
No, but I want
cool.
one. I want
Sounds
several
cool.
now. That one.
Yeah. So he this bartender gives you an eye, and just kind of nods, sets up. It's kind of like a martini glass, but it's bourbon, it's bitters, and then he kind of takes an orange and peels all the way around it, and then lights a flame across it, so it sort of ends up in like a canoe shape, and sets it down in there, and then slides that across and says, almost Belton. Mix Belton? Is that proper? Yep.
I take it. Actually, I would order 2.
Okay.
And I will ask as they're making them, or the second one, have you seen Ashley Dumas around tonight?
Kind of gives you a friendly smirk, and it's kind of hard to miss her tonight.
I glance around.
And he kind of gives you a head nod in a direction to the dance floor, and Ashley is wearing a like neon green tight suit that is just glowing under the black lights.
Mm-hmm.
Neon makeup, like neon nails, just everything sort of like to like stand out as much as possible in this environment.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
You're right with that face tie?
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking. Yes.
You had a very serious thinking. Oh,
Oh.
oh. Technical difficulties. But yeah, so.
Yeah. Okay, we'll kind of just sigh. And at this point, they usually have their hair either slicked back or pulled up into like something high and tight. They have it down. They have again usually like they're usually pretty put together, but their shirt is untucked, which is weird. And they seem a bit disheveled, more than usual. And they will take the 2 drinks and kind of nod at the bartender, and we'll head to the dance floor.
So as you approach, I think you make eye contact with Ashley, and
Mhm.
this big wide grin grows across her face as she kind of excuses herself from the multiple people she's currently dancing with, and she makes her way over to you. Kind of like gestures for you to join her at like one of the like standing tables off to the side.
I put the drink down and slide it over to her.
She gives you a smile and just takes a sip.
How is your evening going?
Yours seems much more interesting. What's going on with UK?
I assume it's loud as fuck here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to lean in very close and say, loud enough so she can hear, but not so anyone else can hear. We need to talk somewhere else.
Follow me. And she kind of like walks back to one of the back rooms,
I follow.
one of the VIP club areas.
Awesome. Yep. I'll follow. And I'll kind of keep an eye out to see like if there's anyone watching us specifically, like hyper paranoia mode is setting in.
Yeah, it's just you two in a pretty cozy back room. It's more of the same decor. Lots of like black light paintings on the walls. Black couches with like a silver kind of metal table in the middle. Have you ever played? Has everyone played Mass Effect? Arya Talok. Okay, she's a very badass alien woman, and she kind of sits just like back and very relaxed, exuding just sort of like this like presence of like very put together, but also very uncharged and don't mess with me vibes. She's got like one leg
Hot.
over the other. Yeah, very
Hot. Okay. All right. I'm going to put the drink down on whatever surface is closest. I'm not going to sit down. I'm just going to stand there and put my hands in my pockets and say, Ashley, I'm not here for pleasantries. In fact, I am beyond tired. I hear that a Felix is working or hanging around. There's a Felix that you know of, maybe.
is an associate.
Cool. I need to find them.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me where they are.
Are you sure you're not here for pleasantries too?
If you had asked me about a month ago, I might have said yes, but no. No, I'm not.
A shame. Well, it seems like I hold all the cards. What do you have to offer?
I have a reminder for you that you, in fact, do owe me quite a bit. From there was this one time, way back when, and
No,
you
no.
just
And she puts a hand up and just no need to dredge up old mistakes. That's most of the way. We're almost there.
okay. What would propel this conversation to somewhere useful?
I was waiting for you to offer, but
I'm in a very particular mood tonight, and it's very short on patience.
well, why don't we just we'll table and call even our old affairs and open a new line of how do I want to put this? Connection. If I need something down the road, it'll be your turn to owe me.
Sure, why the hell not?
Okay. All right. Felix is yours. Do with him what you will. And she kind of pulls out her phone. I heard the mew too.
Listen, my cat hasn't seen me in 2.5 days, and she's going berserk.
I keep hearing it silently in the background.
Yep.
Who let a cat in this club? This is very very unsafe environment for pets. She kind of pulls out her phone. Same number still.
Yep.
So sends a contact and then an address. In case you want to call to make sure they're there first.
Thank you.
My pleasure. You know, I'm sure it's not my place to say, but I bet you do you good to get a night's rest first.
I think I can sleep when I'm dead, so we're okay.
In our line of work, it's easier said than done.
So I guess I have to work a lot then.
Or die a lot.
I pick up the drink as I start to walk towards the door to dying a whole hell of a lot then. And I'm just going to drink a lot of it. I'll chug it if I can.
There's not a whole lot. Like it's like
Awesome.
it's a
Yeah.
it's
I'll
a
just chug the rest
cocktail.
of
It's
it.
not
Yeah. I'll chug the rest of it and then set the glass down and I'm just going to walk out.
She kind of calls after and says, "Good luck."
I'll keep walking.
Okay.
As soon as I get outside, I'm gonna call Felix, or the number that
Okay.
she gave me at least.
All right. Well, as the phone begins to ring, we'll cut there, and Anybody else have anything else going on that evening, or do we want to jump to the morning? Matthew, Gallant. Anything?
Sorry, I have to unmute myself in two places.
fine.
Gallant is sticking to it. He's bothering Steve for K's number.
Okay. Sure. Steve kind of like, after a couple of like rounds of just neat vodka, which I'm sure Dimitri has done nothing to hinder.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's kind of had a couple now. Bar has closed down. It is you three left in here. So, you sure you really want to do that?
Yeah, it's time to get back in the game. And if K is about something, and if they're a potential ally, I might as well start there. What the hell else am I gonna do? You said Conrad's too dangerous. So?
Just said don't go straight at him, but again, don't say I didn't warn you. And he kind of writes down on it. He's gone through a post-it note pack in the last couple of days and actually has to like fish around and find like a new thing of post-it note packs, and pulls one out and kind of like writes fresh on it. It's like, first one. It's lucky.
Gallant will grab it and most of Gallant's left side of his body isn't all that great, so he does a lot of things with one hand, and he'll just kind of type in K's number kind of slowly, and they will text him and say, "My name is Gallant.
Hey, boomer."
Yeah, exactly. New to town, and this is all caps. New to town. Looking for a friend. And then it's like ... And then it's like ghost emoji, vampire emoji, skull emoji, exclamation points.
You know, that sounds like the worst pickup text ever, right? ...
And then it's like... Yeah, that's what I sent.
Looking for a new friend in town.
Yeah, but the emojis clear it all up.
Sure.
Yeah. Ghosts are super great. So I do have a debt on Gallant from one of the rumors we did a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I see the text before I call Felix. She said it was a ghost, a vampire, and just a bunch of skulls.
Yeah.
God damn. Okay.
Maybe some fire. And then like a wizard emoji.
Great. I'll text back in all not capped at all. It's kind of a bad time right now. Who are you looking for?
Bad time. Need help?
I'm gonna call Gallant. This is not great. This texting thing is not working out very well.
And it takes Gallant like double the time to send half the characters.
Yep. But you got a good phone.
Yeah.
It's a decent cell phone. It's not a good cell phone.
I have you on speaker, but I hold it up to my ear.
He doesn't sound 50, he sounds 70.
It's a hard 50. That's how I play all my characters.
The hardest 50.
Ages beyond my years.
Yeah, it's Gallant.
I certainly hope so.
Who is this?
God. Is this Kay?
Oh,
Is Kay Belton?
I hadn't saved you to my phone yet.
Well, that's great. Listen, I don't really know who you are. I just kind of heard about you from someone, and do you, who are you looking for?
At the moment, I'm looking for you. I'm back into town after an extended vacation, and I'm trying to right the wrongs. It's what I do. I'm something of a fixer.
How cavalier of you. Okay. God. I have a problem. Would you like to help me fix it tonight?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, where are you? And I can tell you.
I'm at Steve's bar.
God.
Hi, Kay. Sorry. Didn't think
God.
he was going to call you right away.
Hi, Steve.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, you're on speaker. I don't know how to turn
Yeah.
it off.
That's Dimitri. He's
Hello.
also new in town. Real sorry about this again. I will be. Yep. Steve just pours another round of vodka. It's a double this time and just puts it back.
Okay, well, give me about 10 minutes and I will be there and we can talk.
All right. I'm pretty drunk, but I'll try to stay awake.
Don't worry, so am I. It's gonna be a good talk.
And then
Steve, give him like, I don't know, water, maybe, or
No.
just a good slap in the face. It's fine. Either one will just wake him up.
I've had fine drunk. I just set the phone down without hanging up.
Steve reaches over across the bar and hits the end call button.
I'm gonna make my way there.
Yeah. Are you calling Felix on your way over, or?
Yeah, I'll call Felix on my way over. Because I definitely don't think I drove here.
Did you fly?
I think I did.
Demon form drunk flying.
Here's the
Sounds
thing.
like
Here's the thing. I want to just have I want to have just my wings appear in my demon form. I'm not going to use a corruption to go like full demon. I just want wings.
Okay.
So I do need to roll for that.
Yeah, because if it goes poorly.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Did it go poorly?
It was a 7. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want my
Okay.
wings.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm
That works out fine.
I'm gonna start flying towards Steve's place. Sadly, not very covertly because I stopped caring a second ago, and I'm gonna call Felix on the way there.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing the sound of like a whew,
Yep.
whew in the background.
It's like having the car window rolled down. You're not going
Yeah.
like 60, but you're going fast enough that you can hear it. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you kind of, it rings a couple of times, and then you get a disgruntled like, is this about that pizza I ordered? It's been over an hour.
Yeah, sorry about. I'm on my way right now with it. I just wanted to make sure you were still home.
Where else would why would I order a pizza and go anywhere? That doesn't even.
It's fine. I'll be there as soon as possible. And I'll hang up.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Steve's bar and meet the new kids in town.
Awesome. Red, are you good if we converge on those?
Oh god.
Red.
We should all just go to sleep. We shouldn't do this. Oh no.
All right, so everyone's at a. Really, Matthew? People do.
Yes, people. I was a delivery boy for a long time. People leave their houses when they order pizzas all the time. I'd probably say 1 out of 40 customers.
What?
People are great choice people. Just
Yep.
good people.
Eat the pizza, leave the box.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're awful. Anyway, yeah. So you converge on Steve's bar, which I've forgotten the name of currently, but I know there's one.
Steve's.
It's not Steve's.
It's not Steve's. Max,
The
do you remember?
Narrows is
The
where it
Narrows,
is.
yes.
Oh.
The Narrows, yeah.
Just a better name than Steve's bar.
Steve's.
Are we
good
meeting the next morning? Is that what this is?
No, they're meeting that night. I was asking if you're okay with us kind of doing some more.
Oh, yeah,
scenes
yeah.
with- Okay.
I gotta sleep through the night.
We should be sleeping.
Are you gonna try?
Listen, you're making a smarter decision.
Newer, smarter, brighter red.
Yep.
Anyway,
That
so yeah.
demon looks good on you, man. All right.
Okay, do you walk in demon form? Do you forget to change out?
One wing left out.
Or are you like coming down from your form as you like walk through the door?
I think that's more or less what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like because I'm intoxicated, it takes a little bit longer to revert back. It's not as instantaneous as it was before. So yeah, there's like this weird moment where there's like this shadowy visage of wings as I walk through the door.
Dimitri and Gallant, what do you do?
I would like to channel my magics.
An appropriate action.
Go ahead.
What does that mean? Enlighten us. This is our first wizard NPC or PC.
So I roll spirit, and it's how I prepare my spells. Basically, it's how I get juiced up for them.
Okay.
Yeah, when you channel and collect your magics, roll spirit. On 10 plus, hold 3. On 7 or 9, hold 3 and choose 1 from the list below. On a miss, hold 1, but you cannot channel again this scene. Yep. And then, yep, so I will roll. Oh boy, howdy. Okay, so I hold 3, but I choose 1. Either take -1 ongoing until I rest, suffer 1 harm, or mark corruption. So I like grip my staff and I'm like, oh, it's been a while since I did this one, and I will mark corruption.
Coming in hot.
Here we go again. On the road again. Oh,
And
boy.
my
I'd give him a season.
my veins blacken, but then my staff kind of irradiates a magical aura, and the aura extends over my body, shielding me from harm.
Black veins are not good for me right now. Just
Yeah, I was
throwing
gonna
that out
say
there.
black
Nope.
veins have been a bad theme for.
That's not.
Well,
That triggers some PTSD real quick.
Yeah, it's corruption.
Yep.
Steve, is this another hunter?
This is Kay. Kay, Dimitri, Gallant, the overreactive wizard fellow.
I didn't realize you. 1 second, I don't know if this stream is hiccuping.
Hello?
Hello? I don't know if it's me or the stream. Oh, we're fine.
I think we're fine.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Does anything so when you channel it, like is there any effect that happens, or do you just kind of like, are you like storing up energy to release something?
It's just storing up energy, but yeah.
I understand.
As described, yeah.
I understand. Jeez, I still don't like it. I think before, as Dimitri and Steve are kind of like introducing me to everyone else, I think Kay is going to like faster than they realize go like rush over to where Gallant is and grab them around the throat.
Okay. Dimitri, do you react to this?
Yeah, Dimitri will. What we have on him? I think he probably brought everything in. Dimitri goes to his like stumbles probably, but goes to his nearby like stuff wherever he threw it in, and pulls out a very large sword.
Swords. Everyone has a sword.
This is sword season.
It is a two-handed sword. It extends out and then kind of has a long head on top. There is runic writing all throughout it, and it's silver with a gold inlay. I'm going to need you to please let go of my friend.
I'm gonna, with my other hand, pull out a sword and point it towards you, because I have a sword as well. It's a rapier.
Why does everyone have swords? Steve just kind of like pulls a shotgun up from the bar. It's like, I need everyone to calm down, okay? At least take it outside. But this was not my intention. Gallant, did I not warn you?
Oh.
You seem to have your hand around my throat. Would you let go?
Sorry. I'm gonna sword it. Still at Dimitri.
You shouldn't grab strangers, mixed belting, let alone wizards. Could get hurt that way.
Well, it's kind of hard to hurt me these days. I'll sheath my sword.
Dimitri will put his back as well.
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, I guess proper introductions are kind of out of the question. Hello, I'm Kay Belton. I assume you're Gallant, as Steve said. Hello.
Yeah, I am Gallant.
Hello. And I look over to Dimitri. Hello.
It's a pleasure.
Steve. Are there still like the shots that were poured earlier?
I mean, they're empty currently, probably, but
I'm just gonna like point to one of them.
So Steve pulls out another glass and sets it down, fills them all with vodka, and slides them sort of towards everyone, and like puts a shotgun down on top of the bar now, sort of pointing out, and then picks his up.
I grab the I grab one and I give it to Gallant, and I grab one and I give it to Dimitri, and I grab one and I like toast it towards Steve, and I turn back around and I say, I am gonna go kill someone tonight. Do you want to come with?
That's fine. Who are they and what have they done to be killed?
They are Felix. From what I heard, they still haven't gotten their pizza. And what they did, I don't care.
Steve kind of like puts a hand up. It's like, as much as I am loving this connection, sort of happening here, if you could all take it outside, I don't want to hear anything that has to do with any business outside of sort of my business. So,
Steve, what is your business these days?
Yeah.
My business is my business, and your business is getting the heck out of my bar. We're closed now. That means all of you.
I thought you
Sleep off the vodka.
had a vested interest in hunting down the denizens of the dark.
I do,
You do?
but I like to keep my nose out of things that don't involve this. And he kind of like gestures to the humans in the room, to put it succinctly.
Keep that in mind next time you ask for help. And I'm gonna walk outside.
Thank you for the vodka. I'll follow.
You are sort of muted.
I'm sorry, I'm talking very quietly.
Okay. Was
Um,
I not muted?
no. I'll take my shot and turn it over on the bar, and kind of slap the bar and say, "Always a pleasure, Steve."
You too, Kay. Try to keep out of too much trouble. And they're good folk. Sorry you had made on unfortunate circumstances. I just didn't think it was gonna go down like that.
Well, they at least seem capable, so that's good. I will see you later. I'm just gonna turn and walk out with the rest of them, with the boys.
Sounds good.
Okay.
They're now in the parking lot. It's just very late at this point.
Where how?
Do you punch in the address?
Yes. Yes.
It is an apartment not too far from you currently. It is a couple of blocks over. It is within walking distance or stumbling distance based on how drunk you all are.
Excellent. I look at it and it's like, oh, that's so convenient. I'll put my phone away and say, all right. Let's go, team. And I'm just gonna start walking.
I need to understand why you're destroying this creature or person.
Yes. Do you know what kind of thing we are hunting?
I'm still walking, but I'll like shout over my shoulder. I think like I was told that they were like some sort of husk of a person. All right. I don't know what they did. They did something. Listen, I have a list, and I need to get this list done as quick as possible. So if I don't ask questions, it's a lot. It's easier for everybody.
Did you make the list, or did someone else?
No, I did not. My list is much shorter, but it seems to be a separate list.
Well, how about this? I'll help you, and then afterwards, we sit down and you help me get a lay of the land of what the hell's going on in this city.
I think that's fair.
All right.
I think that works.
And I pull out my sword. Yes! It works.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I'll wait until I'm in front of Felix's door before I pull out my sword. Expecting a pizza
I will
gets
pull out
3
my
swords.
whale.
God damn it.
So yeah, you guys walk that way pretty uneventfully. And as you sort of like approach, you see this car with this dingy looking like old Pizza Hut like thing on top of it.
Oh, God.
It's like a beat down clunker, rust, different colored doors for each one, like just, and it just sort of like sputters to a stop like right in front of this apartment building, and this couldn't be over 20-year-old kid gets out and like is like collecting the pizza out. What do you guys do?
I'll take care of this. I'm a gentleman, and I will use memory wipe.
All right.
I will. And here we go.
Walk us through that.
Yeah. So, memory wipe. Spend 1 hold to cause a helpless target. I'm assuming since they're a normie 20-year-old, they're not. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, very, very helpless.
To forget some of their short-term memories, up to an entire hour's worth, you could spend an additional hold and mark corruption to put alternate memories in their place.
Holy. That is some worse than Brody shit.
This is bad.
It's real bad.
It's real bad. So, are you marking corruption? And
Can I play this in a way that I don't have to? I would like to. Yeah, I'm just gonna make him believe he delivered the pizzas to the correct person.
okay, so you kind of like just like
I just take the pizzas.
take the pizza.
I take his
like-
hat too.
Just kind of like looks. He's like, and this just blank stare just comes over his face, and he just sort of gets back behind the wheel of the car,
Yeah.
and it takes about like 5 or 6 turnovers before it kicks back on.
He'll realize that he took off his. You know, I used to deliver for this company. That you get really hot and sweaty, and you take off your hat a lot, actually. And they have these sweatbands built in, and he took it off probably and put it on the top of his car when he was getting his pizzas out, just to get cooled off in the night air.
Oh.
And he drove off without it. He'll realize later.
That is very in depth for this.
Well, I used to be a pizza boy. I
know.
I know the meta.
So yeah, so okay,
A
poor
brilliant
unnamed
plan.
pizza boy.
What'd you say,
drives
Dimitri?
off.
A brilliant idea, and I'm going to open one of the box and take a piece and start eating it.
I didn't want the poor boy to get hurt just because he was in the wrong place in the wrong time. And the pupils of my eyes are currently solid black, and then they fade back to their normal color.
All right, so you guys head up to the door.
Yeah.
It's stuffed crust if anyone wants a piece.
I love stuffed crust. God,
Hate
it's
Pizza Hut.
aww.
I hate it. It's
I
way
hate-
too greasy all the time.
It's so good. I love it. I'm sorry.
Not a sponsor.
I hated working for them, but I loved their.
Shame.
Oh, yeah.
I still like their food.
So this feels like a mislead, distract, or trick scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody want to lend a hand? That's after a PC is rolled. So who's doing the misleading here?
I argue that I should, since he heard my voice on the phone.
Go for it.
God, I don't want to put this stupid hat on.
I just put I with their permission as a joke. I put it on Kay's head.
So yeah, so mislead, roll with mind.
Good, that's my highest stat.
And then I will
It's
lend
not.
if necessary.
Yeah.
It will be.
Upon a break point, I will lend.
That is my negative stat. Oh, God.
What was it?
After my -1, a 4.
Oh, I can't. You can't. I
You
can't
couldn't
help.
even if you wanted to. So you walk up to this door, and how do you try and sell the fact that you are the pizza delivery person?
Here's the thing. I have the hat on. I'm still in my clothes. I have
Yeah.
the pizza in one hand. My other hand is holding a fucking sword, and I'm just hitting the door with the sword.
All right, and then there's the 2 yahoos behind you, both
With
also
swords.
holding
Yeah.
swords.
Like, Dimitri's like propped up on a sword, eating another slice.
Yeah, but like
Within
real,
views.
real casual about it. Like I'm
Yeah, we're
leaning on
super
my,
casual about
I'm leaning on my gnarled staff, and
So-
I got the sword in the other hand.
So I think what happens here, instead of this being like an advantage for you guys and or like a disadvantage for him, I think Felix just like opens the door and then looks at you guys and slams it shut.
Oh,
Cool. I want to kick the door down, but I would love to let it out to do so I could kick it real hard and break it.
Okay.
we never use let it out.
I know, I'm very
Hey.
excited about this.
I got 3 spirit now thanks to Peter Poindexter.
Oh, shit,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Oh, I love Urban
Okay.
Shadows.
And not that it matters, but Peter would have technically gained that spirit as well because he was present upon his end.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you could go ahead and bump that.
It's 9.
Okay. Does anybody want to lend a hand here?
This is with spirit? Yeah, I will.
No, this is with their faction. So you're rolling with wild.
Oh, that's how things work.
Yep.
Wild?
Yep.
How high do I have to get?
Uh,
I think you just have to get a hit, right? Or it's full success and I gain
+1.
+1. If it's like a 7 to 9, then you're put. One of them gives
7 to
gets
9, you
in a
expose
bad
yourself to
spot.
danger, entanglement, or cost, and a miss is it just doesn't succeed.
Well,
and then
I
you
said-
probably also get tied up.
I said I'd help. 9.
What'd you roll? 9.
Hey.
Okay, so the +1 does occur, so that's a 10 now for the let it out. So Gallant, you kind of like both of you described to me what's going on in this scene as this door gets slammed shut, and then they go hog wild.
Yeah, it's like I see Felix and I just kind of like half smile, and the door slams shut, and like not even a millisecond later, I'm just like the foot is up and in the door.
And I am just conjuring like a kind of force of wind to help it blast open.
Okay.
But I think maybe the wind carries me in.
Yeah, I think it kind of carries you like into the apartment and sort of puts you between Kay and Felix now.
There it is.
And then so on a 10 plus, you ignore the corruption, so you don't mark corruption, or you choose one from the choose another from the list. So you can choose 2 from the list and take a corruption, or
I would love to take a corruption.
okay. So you get 2 of these. Extend your senses, supernatural or otherwise. Frighten, intimidate, or impress your opposition. Sounds applicable.
Mm-hmm.
Take definite, that's the word. Definite hold of something vulnerable or exposed. Or take +1 forward on your next roll.
I definitely want to intimidate my opposition.
Yep, I figured that
For
would...
sure. And I want to take definite hold of something vulnerable or exposed, which is any obvious escape routes.
Okay. That was solid.
Thanks.
So I'm gonna lay out the scene a second now. So Gallant sort of like this door just like caves in. It doesn't just like break off the hinges, it buckles and crumples sort of as it like folds in half with this kick. And so the door basically with the kick and the wind sort of crumples and flies and just barely misses Felix. And so Gallant sort of gets in the between, but Kay, by blocking up the exit, you sort of just you see them in the doorway of 1 second and over in front of the only other window and another.
Oh.
And this seems to be just like a studio apartment, so there is really nowhere to go.
From where I'm standing, I'm going to say, hello, Felix.
So with Felix, as you guys kind of, for the first time, get a sight on this guy, at first glance, totally normal dude, sort of heavy set, got kind of like a 2-day-old t-shirt on, jeans, kind of shaggy hair, kind of a weird goatee kind of thing going on the face. But as you observe him for longer than just a second, you start noticing stitching kind of in different parts of his body that seems to be holding together, and there's parts that sort of just kind of roll unnecessarily in different, like not just like the belly, but like his leg, his shoulder, his face rolls a little bit. What do you want? Who are you? What's going on here?
Well, I brought you your pizza.
Fucking kid.
And my patron says you need to die, so I'm here to kill you.
And they kind of just step back a step.
I'll step forward a step.
And he is going to charge you, Kay.
Oh, that's not smart.
You see, as he's charging you with what seems to be reckless abandon, these rolls that have been happening all seem to like build up in the front of him, almost creating this like shield of mass. He almost becomes this like bullhead as he charges you. What do you do?
Is this considered going into a battle?
Yeah, I would assume this is definitely... You are in some sort of fight at the moment, yes.
Fantastic. I would like to use a move I have not been able to use yet, called Vigilante. When I go into battle, roll with blood. Oh my god, yes. Okay, I got a 12.
Oh, shit.
So on a 10 plus, I can hold 3. So I'll read them for you. Name a character within your reach. While you fight, you intercept any attack directed at them, and they suffer no harm. Cross the distance to any character outside of my reach before they have time to adjust or react. That's 1. Redirect an attack within reach to another character within your reach, or else to nowhere, into the ground or a wall to the sky. That's 2, so I'm going to direct it into the ground. And then my third one. Kill, disable, or disarm, your choice, an NPC within reach. I would like to kill him, please.
So you just straight up kill?
Yep.
There's no limit?
Nope. There's nope. I copy pasted it verbatim from the
It's not like helpless NPC.
Nope, just an NPC within reach.
So, which book is this? I need to look at this because I need to figure out how his stuff connects with this stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff going on.
Oh, it's the
his
Revenant.
side, too.
It's Revenant.
Oh.
Oh,
right.
no, that's not good.
Hello.
So Revenant, Vigilante.
Like, what?
So you just kill an NPC.
It's not great.
Huh. So the way I'm going to read that, and this is just my interpretation of it, is it's enough damage. It like does like enough harm to like fill out the track.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a way to interpret, you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
however you want to my end goal is to
kill him.
Kill him.
Yes. I think there are some complications. So you're cutting him, or how are you attacking him first off?
I close the distance exponentially fast.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that he was coming at me, right?
Yes.
Was he brandishing anything?
Himself.
Just
like,
himself? Okay.
This mass that has now, like, created this hard surface that you can tell.
Sure. So with one hand, as I'm making my way there, I draw the sword.
Mm-hmm.
My free hand, I essentially just take him by the top of the head and just slam him into the ground.
Okay.
Redirecting his attack towards the ground. And then with my sword, I just plunge it into his bag.
Okay. So basically as this, like, this now humanoid figure, as like this head is just like, is almost like muscled into his shoulders, like that is like filled here. There's no like 90-degree angle. It is now like a mass. It sort of just like, it smashes and sort of crumples a little bit. And as you step into the back, like part of him just gets like cut away, and that bit stays, and his head kind of just is like slumped over. And then it like shudders for a bit and sort of slumps back up, and the masses that were like cut away kind of begin to like flap down and begin to like stitch themselves back together. So there's been damage done, and a lot of damage. This thing isn't normal.
That's not great.
Go on.
Yeah, I hold up to my staff and I use my one hold I have left because corrupted memory wipe cost me 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I cast elementalism, and I will choose 3 harm close against the mass, the creature.
What does that look like? And does that like have any sort of role, or is that just you
No,
do
it's a
stuff?
spell. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just hold up my staff and I go, fuego, and a bolt of fire comes streaming out and hurls over to the husk.
Okay. Yeah, so more of it begins to burn away, and it's definitely looking damaged, and it sort of is like this small version of itself. And it's not even like human anymore. It's just this like weird sort of like half torso, a couple of limbs sort of amalgamation. And it turns and charges towards the door, trying to bust past. Dimitri, what do you do?
Seeing it try to bust past, I will attack. Hold on. Hold, please. When I first saw this thing, I kind of walked in with everyone else, correct?
Yeah.
As soon as Dimitri saw it and saw what was happening with Kay, his eyes would have lit up as he studied it. And I'm going to use book learning.
Okay.
So I roll with mine if I come across a creature I've never encountered before. Okay. What's my... That's 1. Okay. On a hit, which I got a 7, you can tell me a little bit about it and how it can be killed.
This is what's known as a vessel. It is basically, I mean, there are legends of these sorts of creatures from all over the world. It's kind of just something you just need to tick away at. And eventually, either there's something inside of it that is sort of its like its core or its heart, or there's something nearby that is keeping it alive.
Okay.
So you need to either destroy its like core or some sort of like anchor.
It's phylactery.
Basically, yeah.
And I'll attack it as it's
okay
running at me. Or let it out. 10.
Okay. Yeah, so that is take 1. Or do you want to do unleash?
Oh, sorry, unleash is what I meant. Sorry, unleash is what I meant.
Yeah, so 10 on a hit, inflict harm is established and choose 1. Inflict terrible harm or take something from them. I will offer you the chance to take the core from it as you cut.
All right, I'll take the core.
Okay.
I'll take the core and I do hold.
3 damage? Is it 4 damage?
It is 4 damage and it's holy.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
not great.
What's up, Matthew? Got a thing? Okay. Yeah, we'll go over that later next time. It's no big deal. Thematics. But yeah, so as this thing sort of charges towards both Dimitri and the door, I think you just sort of just like take your sword and just like cut through it. And as you cut, you hit something extremely dense that sort of cracks. As what does it look like when your sword's holy damage is activated?
I think the gold runes kind of light up and a kind of a silvery white light emanates from the blade.
Okay. Yeah, that's it sort of just cracks, and this thing sort of just begins to like collapse. And as it begins to collapse, it seems to almost grow again, like expand, and it starts to begin to like unfurl and unflap, and just bones and viscera and flesh begin to just like pour out of this thing. And it sort of just, it's almost like it takes a last breath as it sort of like builds up and then collapses and then is done.
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you, comrade. It was very useful, came in handy. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna sheathe my sword, and I want to kind of just look around to see if there's anything, if there's any indication as what Felix might have been doing for the Dumas.
Um,
Would this
let's
be investigate
see.
a place of power?
Place of power is a little bit
Yeah, I figured.
different. You know what I will let you do? Yeah, you really do need red right now.
Rad. Fred can't teleport places. Not
That would
yet.
be very funny.
Red's not useful. What are you talking about?
You know what though? I think that is a great place to stop, as you can begin to like snoop around and everything. Dimitri and Gallant, do you stick around, or do you guys? Okay. All right, but yeah, I think that's a good place to call it for tonight. That was a fun way to bring in some new characters. You guys are both a little bit more action oriented, so I was hoping that we would get a chance to show off that shit. But yeah, so great. Yeah, so who you are, where we can find you, who you played, and favorite moment from this evening. So Matthew, you want to start us off? You have been muted on OBS. Yeah.
Thanks, folks. Sorry about that. So, hi, I'm Matthew Foreman, at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. You all know that bullshit. GM on Dice Priority. Catch me, Big Boy Season, 9:30 p.m. Central Fridays. And then Ghost of the Machine returns Wednesday, November 27th, 7 p.m. Check it out. My favorite moment was probably, this was fun. I liked a lot of it. I will say the thing that's sticking with me now is the bowl scene of the vessel and that whole encounter. I don't know. There's just a lot of good stuff.
That was fun. Yeah. Max.
Hi, I'm Max. I can be found at allmax220 on the Twitters. I played Red, and my favorite part of the night was just everyone whipping out their swords in the middle of the city, and it's just, gosh, and of course some of the phrasing, of everything Gallant does. I grip my staff. So yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Ty.
Ty, you can find me here. You can find me at Ballroom Brawler on Twitter. You can also find me at Mythos Mystery Society on Twitch, where we'll be playing a game in about half an hour, Tales from the Loop, which is a run from a Call of Cthulhu module. It's the second half. It's really fun. My favorite moment from the night, I liked everyone just kind of drinking it, like going on a drunken murder at like 2 a.m. Like, it was pretty great.
Y'all murdered that guy about the same time Red was having to deal with Leroy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Red's like, wait, there's something more fun I could have been doing. I'm certain of it.
I'm looking forward to the next game when I meet Dimitri, and I'm like, so what'd y'all get up to last night?
Dimitri's got to be up in like 4 hours to meet Red.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Kay, or Maria, whoever you are.
It's both. It's both. It's all. Hello. I'm Maria. You can find me at Happy Capster on Twitter, where I post a lot of things about a lot of stuff. and do a lot of things. But first, my favorite moment, the Russian accent and the bad texting. Both of those just sent me. I was just gone.
It's Ukrainian, right?
Ukrainian, yeah.
Ukrainian. My apologies. Yes.
He speaks Russian too. Russian.
Yes.
Boomer
the
texting.
accents. The
Boomer
accents
texting.
and the texting just were like, they were great. They're great.
Yeah.
I love them both so much.
Matthew's old man is.
It's the best. It's the best. It's
An
the best,
age
but the worst,
50.
but the best.
An age
Very
50.
You all say, but I work with some people in their 50s, and let me tell you, that was all straight from them.
No, I totally understand. I know what you're talking about. It was just very
And
entertaining.
anyway. But yeah, I'm here multiple times a week. This is now, tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're back with Grim Femmes, run by Emma, and it's great and wonderful. And then on Thursday nights, we're in space, dealing with wonderful things and learning things. We're finally sleeping, maybe. So come see us in space. And then I just got back from a catacon in Dayton today, where I was with my husband and at Society Goblins, the Goblin Society games, where we ran our free Kobold Grinder module, which is up on our website. You can go play as kobolds and die a lot because it's great. And then also magic items and stuff like that. We post that during the week. Check it out. It's great.
Yep, and then there's me. I'm Taryn. You can find me on Twitter at TarzanNozy. Also on Thursdays here on the Variant Rules. On Thursdays, 7 Central on that whole Project VHS. A third one.
Wizard corruption move is when you make a deal with someone dark and powerful. Does Kate count?
Yeah, probably.
I have 3 corruption.
Wow.
I have 3 corruption, folk.
Wow.
Fantastic. Yeah. So.
Oh, I do have a question. I don't know if this counts. My corruption mood is when I persuade someone on my patron's behalf. I don't know if it counts or not.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think that happened a couple of times tonight, honestly.
Also, question.
Yeah.
Did we have any intimacy moves earlier today? Physical or emotional?
They didn't feel intimate for me. And I don't mean to, I'm just in a different place than you are right now. It's not you.
You know, I think Red and Leroy got pretty intimate.
Oh God.
Oh no!
But yeah, so you can find me there and here. That's pretty much it. Favorite moment from tonight. Cool. I think I really like the juxtaposition of the brevity of this session versus the impactful, emotional, just nuance of last week. I think it was a lot of fun to kind of just go back and forth and kind of. We all knew what we needed this time. Brought some new characters in. That was really nice. And yeah, we have a lot to go. We have a lot.
When you
to
said
go.
this season was going to have a whole bunch more combat, you weren't lying.
Oh yeah.
No, this is much more action packed, much more action forward even. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun with that. I had fun running a vessel combat. That was a lot of fun getting to see the new characters whip out some powers and stuff.
Yeah, sorry, it was over too fast.
No, that was good. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be that much of a challenge. Like, if you had gone there on your own, it probably would have been a little bit more difficult. But you had a hunter and a wizard on your side. Like, you're the 3 most powerful playbooks, damage wise.
Yeah.
Forearm feels
Yeah,
good.
forearm
It sure
is-
does, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, so that's for me. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. If you like what we do here on Variant Roles, don't forget to follow and subscribe on Twitch. Follow us on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with all of the stuff that's going on. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. But yeah, sorry, I'm reading the chat and just everyone getting excited about weapons. It's very fun. It's something that we did not really have last season, so it's kind of nice to see the different parts of Urban Shadows.
We just hurt each other with our words.
Yeah, it was a lot of emotional damage.
Yeah.
Brody had a shotgun once.
He did not want to.
Our finale was action fucking packed.
Yes,
So.
that's true.
Yeah.
which bled hardcore into this. But yeah, so check us on Patreon if you would like to support us in that manner. I think that's about it. Do we have anybody we want to raid, or is there a way we could like early raid
No.
Mythos?
I don't think so.
No.
Unless they have a screen open, I don't think we do.
I'm gonna be there in 30 minutes, folks. Join us on Mythos Mystery. I'll be in chat. I'm not gonna be on
I'll
stream.
be there too in chat.
We could raid INDG just to keep people in the space.
I think that's
That someone else has to do it. I still can't.
INDG.
Yeah, I need diverse games. Tanya to pass this thing.
Yeah, awesome. I'm
Yeah.
totally down for that. INDG.
Yep, that's how they are, and they're in tabletop too. So
Sweet. Yep. We are heading that way. Thanks again, everybody. Love you all, and see you next Sunday.